Can you take a SteriPen on carry-on luggage? The answer is yes. However, there are some things you really should know about, okay? For starters, if your SteriPen has a built-in battery like the Ultra, this is the one that I use and recommend because you can recharge it, you don't need batteries and stuff. It really should be on your carry-on, okay? If you have spare batteries, they must be in your carry-on because the TSA, they don't like loose batteries in checked bags due to a fire risk. Okay. More good news is because the SteriPen doesn't have liquid, it's not subject to that 3-1-1 rule at airports. And if you're not sure what that is, it's like every liquid, gel, or cream or paste must be in some type of container that's 3.4 ounces or smaller. All those containers must fit into a small little bag, and each traveler is allowed only one of those bags. That's what that means, that 3-1-1 rule for liquids. Okay. Now, the million-dollar question is, that's for the United States, but what happens if you go to other countries, right? That's a really good question, because I've traveled with a SteriPen through India, Southeast Asia, and all of the United States. I think that's about it. I think there's one thing. Oh, Europe too. Went to Europe. But here's the thing. China, Thailand, Singapore, they're really obsessed with batteries. So any device with a battery must be in the carry-on. And what's really tricky about this, and this is a really cool tip, if your SteriPen is not clear, like labeled with the battery specs, an airport can actually confiscate this if they can't verify the watt hours. So it's a really good idea to have the original sticker or a manual that proves that it's under the 100 watt limit. So if you maybe keep your manual with you or some way you can prove it and verify it, that way so that it won't get confiscated at other airports. So you won't lose this puppy, okay? Because this thing is really, really cool. You can basically, the reason why it's so cool is you can filter water anywhere, and with just 90 seconds with this UV light will kill 99% of viruses, bacteria, even parasites, the crypto that most water tablets can't kill, this can actually kill. And you can reuse it over and over again. So it's so amazing. I don't leave home without it. All right. So, and obviously, if you've gotten some type of value from this so far, please consider hitting the like button or the subscribe button because it helps me out a lot. All right. So that's one thing. Another thing you might be saying, well, that's great because at the time of this video, airports and traveling is very expensive because of gas prices, very sadly. But the good news is there's lots of ways you can actually save money on flights. And I go over this in this post here. And there's one agency which I've used a lot. And it's famous for connecting 2 flights from unrelated airlines into one trip. And it can save you a lot of money. The bad news is they can be a headache and can be risky. Okay. And I give you some tips on here in this post about how to use it to save money. And if you want a less stressful way to actually book flights, I go over one way. It's a really cool hack, and it scans all the deals, but you only deal with one airline company, and that just makes everything much easier, less stressful, and I actually kind of go over some of my experiences as well with that. And I'll put the link to this post down below in the description, the first comment, and you can kind of check this out because this goes over way more detail about TSA and flying and some tips on that as well. And if you want to know more ways on actually how to save money on traveling, I made a whole video that goes over 11 hacks and ways to save money traveling. And I'll put the video link in the description, as well as I'll pop this up on this page here. You can click on it, check it out. Anyways, have a wonderful and blessed rest of your day. All right, bye.